All right.
Hello, this is Eline Chivot of the Center for Data Innovation. Thank you to all of you joining us today and to those jumping in now. And thanks for all the dynamic engagement we've seen on the platform today at the European AI Policy Conference. Quite incredible. We are lucky to be in the company of one of the greatest names, experts and professionals in the field of AI right now today. Jérôme Pesenti is no doubt one of those greatest names. He is Vice President of Artificial Intelligence at Facebook, has worked in AI for over 20 years, including at Benevolent AI and IBM. And Jérôme worked with Professor Dame Wendy Hall to produce this impressive and important report on how the AI industry can be grown in the UK. Today, Jérôme is going to tell us a little bit more about how Facebook uses AI and why it's important to the organization, and also some views on policy developments happening in this space. So when it comes to the challenges and the promises of AI, we certainly have the expert in the room today. Welcome, Jérôme. What an honor to have you with us today, and thank you for joining us. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Eline. Thank you for your introduction. I gotta admit, it's gonna be interesting to do this presentation like this. I feel a little bit like my kids' teachers, who ask them to turn on their video. I know I cannot ask anybody here to turn on video, but I'm really, really thankful to be here today. It's an important topic for me. The first admission I'll make is I'm a bit of a, tech optimist at heart, and if you've read Sheila Jasanoff's book, Ethic of Invention, she characterized that pretty well, which is, tech optimists tend to have this conventional wisdom that, technological progress is unstoppable, and that technology tends to have unintended consequences, which, we can claim we could not have foreseen, and that technologists are the one best place to tackle these unforeseen consequences. I gotta admit, this kind of thinking is the way I've been thinking in the past. Now, luckily for you today, I don't believe this way anymore. I do think that while progress tends to be unstoppable and we're going to continue developing technology, we can steer it in the right direction if we put as much effort in understanding its potential consequences as we put in developing new technology. And I believe to do that, it's really, really important to bring in new people into the discussion, not just technologists, not just engineers and scientists, but also bring people from a social science background, people from a political science background, policymakers, legal experts, and bring these people to have this discussion together. So that's why today I'm really thrilled to be here. I'm really thrilled to talk to such a diverse audience, even if I can see you. Now, I believe I'm not the only one to think this way. I think my company, Facebook, and many other in the tech industry finally realized that, hey, we've made tremendous mistakes in the past. I think we've failed to put responsibility at the core of the innovation process, but recognize today that we need to change that. Now, with AI, it's pretty clear, and I'll talk about it a little bit today, that the stakes are pretty high. There are a lot of applications of AI today. It's having a tremendous impact in the world. And it's pretty clear that in the next 5, 10, 20 years, this impact will keep increasing. But with this great power comes great responsibility, and we need to get it right this time. Now, from an EU perspective, I think it's a really interesting challenge because the EU, on one side, needs to make sure that it can develop a really center of excellence. It's an opportunity that the EU cannot change, cannot miss, especially with COVID today and the decrease in GDP that was a consequence of it. We need to make sure that that the EU can reap the benefits of AI. At the same time, it's really important to get it right. And we're really supportive of the Commission's effort to build an ecosystem of trust. If people don't trust AI, they will be reluctant of adopting it. And so I think it's really important for this economic opportunity to also think of the responsibility aspect at the same time and to get that right. And the stakes are really, really important to get this right. Now, today I'd like to tell you a little bit about, what we do with AI at Facebook, what matters to us, how do we do it, why we think that responsible AI, or really putting responsibility at the core of the developing of the AI, is really important. I'll tell you a bit about our point of view on regulation, why we think it's actually important, and why we want to participate in this discussion. And then I'll finish by talking a little bit about the EU white paper and our point of view on that. So in terms of AI, AI at Facebook is pretty much everywhere. So when you turn on your Instagram app or your Facebook app, what you see there, that it's ads or organic content, is determined by a pretty sophisticated AI algorithm, a recommendation algorithm that tries to understand what is the most relevant content for you. At the heart, AI is used to fulfill Facebook's mission to bring the world closer together, to connect people. Now, we do that through this recommendation algorithm. We do that also through some other sophisticated AI algorithm. We try to cross, language boundaries. We use AI to translate posts automatically. We use AI to comment or caption pictures, so that if you have visual deficiency, you can actually appreciate videos or pictures because AI will describe it to you. We also use AI to protect people. So with all this connection we create across the world between people and content, it's also giving an opportunity for people to create, and try to promote harmful content. And so we develop a really complex set of policies that we publish, and we use AI to enforce these policies, to flag content that breaks them, and to sometimes act automatically on that content. We do that with collaboration with, policymaker in the organization, as well as people who actually are in combination with AI looking at that content and moderating it. That's a pretty sophisticated task. You need to understand images, you need to understand text, you need to understand videos, you need to understand posts, you need to understand actors. But we're really committed to making that one of the main use of AI for Facebook. Now, ultimately, we also try to use AI to empower people as well. We believe that AI will be at the core of completely new experiences. So, AI can be used to improve this experience that we have today, improving the sound of this transmission, improving the video. It can be used to change the way we do commerce, making every picture, every post an ability for people to find new products. So we believe that AI will be at the core of a lot of new experiences, and we're developing AI to do that. If you have used Oculus, the new VR headset by Facebook, you can now use your hands, for example, to control what's happening. Again, this is using AI that, with little cameras on the device to pass what's happening. So AI is really at the core of what we do at Facebook to connect, protect, and empower people through our platform. The way we do AI at Facebook is quite interesting. We're very, very committed to AI research. We publish everything we do and do that in a very open and reproducible way. We are a big proponent of open research through publishing. So we try to publish everything we do, all the advances. We try to associate the code of what we publish. We try to create open source system that people leverage as much as possible. PyTorch is one of the systems that's most widely used today for AI in research and production. It's something that was developed by the research team in my organization. We also try to really steer the community around important challenges. So just recently, we created a challenge around deepfake to make sure that the community pay attention to this problem. So we released a data set, and we created a competition, and we get some prize. The way we do research and this competition open data set is that we try to do that very collaboratively. So we try to do research by collaborating with universities. We created a COVID data set by collaborating with CMU. We created a data set by collaborating with the Polytechnic University of Catalonia on COVID. We try to partner with other industry players. So the way we develop PyTorch, we also bring in other companies like Microsoft or Amazon, or we try to leverage some industry consortium like the Partnership on AI. And this is the way we did the deepfake detection challenge. Now, ultimately, AI is really important to us. We use it everywhere. We believe that it will keep evolving and increasing capabilities, but we recognize that there are many, many risks with AI. Now, I believe a general consensus has developed around this risk, and we have paid a lot of attention to what the European Commission has developed around its own ethical guidelines for trustworthy AI. We have collaborated on developing the OECD AI principle, and I think out of these efforts, I've come up with a framework where we've come up with dimension of responsible AI. So we want to develop AI systems that are fair, that are transparent, that are accountable, that are robust, and that are privacy respecting. And to do that, I have created within my team a sub-team that is focused entirely on responsible AI. And the goal of that team is to make sure that we adopt processes and tools within our organization to develop AI and use AI that follows good principle and that is fair, transparent, robust, accountable, and privacy respecting. Now, the team is composed of a lot of different people, of ethicists, of policymakers, of legal experts, of people with political and social science background, so that we can do that not just from a pure technology background, but taking into account all this point of view. And that has led to some results. Like now, when you look at a post in Facebook, you can understand why you're seeing it, or an ad. We're trying to be more transparent. When we develop systems that can understand, videos, we try to make sure that it actually does that in an inclusive manner, that it works equally depending on different skins of tones. We have developed fairness flow so that we can evaluate the fairness of all the algorithms that we deploy within the organization. And we've had a really, really significant effort to bring people with more diverse background into our organization, because we believe it's critical to develop responsible AI. Now, this said, we don't believe we can get there just by ourselves. And we do believe that regulation will be an important factor in doing this. And we're very supportive of the effort of the European Commission to develop an ecosystem of trust. Ultimately, people will adopt AI technology only if they can trust that this technology have their best interest at heart. And so we also think that as we do this, it's really critical for the US and the EU. I'm French. I work in a US company. I work with the UK government in the past. We think it's really important for Europe and the US to come together as we recognize that there are different actors with different values, like China or other non-democratic countries. And we believe in democratic values, and we believe it's really important to put these values at heart. And so we really encourage greater collaboration between the EU and US, between the EU and the UK, to make sure this happens. And we'll also encourage companies and government to work together to make this happen. And we're really open to being a participant in this. One of this activity was actually the recent EU white paper. And we were really glad that we had the opportunity for us to comment on that white paper recently. I'll give you a few of the insights. So we thought actually this was a pretty good white paper, and that it really brought some interesting aspects. Some of the things we saw that were quite important for us is it's really critical to define, have a lot of clarity on scope and definition. So, as we define high-risk AI, it's really important that everybody understands what it means and we don't leave it very vague. Another recommendation we make is to make sure that the new regulation that comes is consistent with GDPR. I'll give you a really, really interesting example. When you try to look at fairness problems, you need to collect data in a way that may contradict the guidelines given by GDPR. So we really think that it's important that as we look at this new regulatory framework, we make sure it's consistent with GDPR and we reuse some of the framework we use there. So anyway, thanks for listening to me. What I was trying to communicate today is AI is really important to us. We really want to change the way we do AI and make sure that we put responsibility at heart of our development, not like we've done technology in the past. And we're really eager to collaborate with all the policymakers to make that happen. We believe that the solution will come from a collaboration from government, academia, and industry. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jérôme. Merci beaucoup. It's too rare to see experts like you at such events, so I hope you pay us a visit in Brussels sometime when the conditions permit it. I had a lot of questions, but unfortunately there is there is no time for this right now, but you'll be happy to see that in the poll in one of the polls our participants took part in, 93% of them agree that AI will help the EU achieve a more sustainable economy. So we have a very positive and optimistic audience with us. Starting now, you can join our next panel discussion to see how the EU could build the right blocks for AI. And this will be moderated by Daniel Castro, Director at the Center for Data Innovation, joining us from DC. Enjoy the talks, and I will see you all again later. And thank you so much, Jérôme, once again. Bye.